In front of everyone, the girl kicked off her shoes, took off her coat, pulled off the hair tie from her head, and handed everything back to Tony without missing a single thing. She then picked up her parents' ashes and silently walked away from the home that had raised her for 18 years. She got into the wedding car waiting outside, ready to marry a man she had never met, just to repay Tony's family for taking her in. At that moment Tony had no idea. He thought the girl was just throwing a tantrum, and even rented a fleet of cars to show off. It was not until his mother called, reminding him to prepare a grand wedding gift for the girl, that Tony felt like he had been struck by lightning. He could not believe. The girl who once said she would marry no one but him was now about to marry someone else. In a panic, Tony called the girl begging her not to leave, but it was already too late. The girl had been raised by Tony's family for 18 years. Everyone had always assumed she would marry Tony. She herself once believed it too, because Tony had spoiled her like a princess since childhood, until the scheming girl moved in next door, and everything began to fall apart. One day, the scheming girl took her on a wild ride through the neighborhood, mocking her the whole way, saying Tony preferred someone fresh and exciting like herself. But before she could finish, they got into a car accident. When they were rushed to the hospital, the scheming girl turned around and blamed her, claiming the girl had forced her to street race. Tony believed the lies and decisively cut off all contact with the girl. Meanwhile, the girl was seriously injured and had to sign her own surgery papers alone. When she woke up again, the doctor asked her to contact her family for payment. She called Tony immediately, but was met with endless hang-ups. With no choice, she dragged her battered body to pay the fees herself, only to see Tony taking care of the scheming girl with her own eyes. Her heart shattered completely. The Tony who once adored her was gone. Right at that moment, the scheming girl asked Tony if he would ever marry the girl. Without hesitation, Tony said no. That moment, she finally gave up completely. In her despair, she called her foster mother, agreeing to a marriage alliance on behalf of Tony's family. After being discharged, she returned to Tony's house, only to find Tony hosting a party for the scheming girl, and the necklace she had dreamed of for years was now placed around the scheming girl's neck by Tony himself. Seeing the girl come home, the scheming girl deliberately sprayed champagne on her, pretended to apologize, and invited her to join the celebration. The girl immediately refused. She turned to change clothes, only to find her bedroom a complete mess. Tony then pulled the scheming girl inside and shamelessly announced that the scheming girl would move into her room to recover, and the girl would have to move into the storage room. The scheming girl pretended to be reluctant, but Tony firmly agreed without hesitation. Little did they know, the girl no longer cared who lived where, because tonight, she was leaving for good. She packed all the gifts Tony had ever given her into a worn-out box, and told the maids to treat it all as trash. The maid was stunned, knowing how much the girl used to cherish those gifts, but the girl showed no hesitation. She finished packing and was ready to go, but just as she reached the door, she ran into Tony and the scheming girl. The scheming girl smugly announced Tony was taking her out for hot pot, and invited the girl to join them. She even grabbed the girl's hand, not letting go. When the girl struggled free, Tony slapped her hard across the face.